is Rashawn, and today I'll be going through a program that uses inheritance to calculate the area of a rectangle. Now, the first thing I want to do is I want to execute the program so we can see the data that it outputs. So here we have the width of the rectangle and the height of the rectangle and the area. And now I'm gonna go ahead and explain how I used inheritance to accomplish this. So now I have two classes that I used, and one of them is a base class called shape. And I'm gonna go through shape right now. So the first thing I did in shape was Pond included a string, so we can use string. So we can use string data types or string objects. And I'm using the Pond included an IO stream for input and output operations. Then created a class called shape. Then I used the protected access specifier and declared a string called creator. Now the reason why I use protected and not private is because I want this variable to be accessible to any derived class, of this base class. Because if it was private, it would only be accessible to this class right here. It couldn't be accessed by any other class outside of it. Then we have the constructor, takes a string parameter called creator, and then we're assigning the parameter to the variable under the protected access specifier, and we're using this keyword to differentiate from the parameter and the variable called creator in this class. Because if I were to remove this keyword and just try to assign the parameter to the value in the parameter to the creator function, the program would not know which is which. And this is why this is not blank but shaded, I guess. So this is why we need this keyword, or this and arrow key, to point to the variable in this class. Then we have a getter function that just simply returns the value in creator. Then we have a function called area that returns a double value and has the keyword virtual in it. Now the reason why it has virtual in it is because this function will be redefined in the derived function, and we're going to talk about it in the rectangle function. It was redefined, so we just changed the contents. We kept the same name and the same return type, but we changed the contents of the function. Then we have a virtual destructor to prevent static binding, because we want to destroy after we're finished with the rectangle class. What did I do? Yeah, sorry about that. So yeah, basically what I was saying is we have a virtual destructor because we don't want to destroy the contents yet until we're finished with this class right here. So that's why we created a virtual destructor. Now we can move on to the rectangle class. We are upon including the shape header file, so we can use it as a base class for the rectangle class right here. The base class is using the public access specifier, and it has two private variables, width and height. Then under public, we have a constructor that takes two parameters, user width and user height, and it's also calling the shape constructor with my name as an argument to store in the creator variable right here, because this is where we define the constructor. So Roshan is, well, yeah, Roshan is creator, and it's assigning Roshan to the creator variable right here. Then inside this rectangle constructor, we're assigning user width to width and user height to height. These variables right here. Then we have a getter function called get height that returns the height, and the same for width, returns the width. Then down here, we're redefining that virtual the area function of shape, and this is what we have override to indicate that this is a redefinition of a function. And then go ahead in main. In main, I created an object of the rectangle class called rectangle, and I passed two arguments, 15 for the width, for the user width, and 10 for the user height. Then I'm using CR statements to print out the width, the height, and the area. Run it again to confirm. And I'm gonna try to change the values. I'm gonna change it to 10 and 10 and 10, so we should get 100 for the area, if I'm not mistaken.